Gift, gift. We are with you, okay? We sincerely apologize for what happened to your child. No child deserves to pass through what Chidubem passed through in the hands of that evil woman. No, you, everybody are with you. We are with you in everything. Till the end of this
Okay.
matter, we are
Have
with
you
you.
seen the pictures circulating online? The before and after?
Yes.
Is that your baby?
Yes.
The two pictures are your baby?
Yes.
So, how long have you been living with them before you gave birth?
In January.
To confirm, how old are you?
18 years now.
18 years. When you gave birth to the baby, was the baby healthy?
Yes. Very.
I would also like to ask, how many days did the baby use in the hospital
2 weeks.
before the baby died?
Yes.
Seriously, this story does not add up. How can a child after 1 month turn from looking like this to looking like this? Can somebody explain what is happening here? Because we have not fully recovered from Sylvester's story. And again, like this again? Haba. I don't know what is happening, but there is I'm trying to find my words. I'm trying to catch my breath. I'm trying to understand what is happening. I'm trying to really clear my head around these stories. And I can't help but feel lost, feel like we need to seriously do something. We need to seriously do something. Like, how can these children just be dying like this? Like, what is happening to our child support system? Guys, I'm literally screaming out loud here. What is really happening to our humanity in this part of the world? I feel so terrible. Like, how can this child was just barely 6 months old, and he had to go through starvation, because I seriously cannot explain how else a child that left the mother looking this healthy can turn like this. Like, this story is still unbelievable. It's still unbelievable. A lot of people are saying this child does not look like the original child. What do you think? Do you think this child was switched by this woman and she just gave this lady another baby? Like, seriously, the story of the story of Chidubem is really sad. It's really, really sad. If you're hopping into my channel, thank you so much for coming in. We're talking about another real time story. This is a true crime story of another child who has just lost his life to the harsh realities that we are currently confronting and having a conversation on. If you're new to my channel, I talk about real-time stories, I talk about reality shows, and basically one of the things I do in this channel is just to talk about my perception, talk about humanity, talk about identity crisis, talk about social issues like this, and let's just have a decent conversation and see if we can find a way out of this mess, because it's really getting alarming. If these are the kind of conversations that you like to be a part of, don't forget to subscribe to this channel to be a part of this conversation, and don't forget to hit on notification bell so that you always get alerts of my video. So guys, if you don't know the story, I'm going to be telling you a bit about the story that has been unfolding. It's been crazy. A lot of people are raising eyebrows. A lot of people are saying this is not true. Some people are saying this is absolutely unbelievable. I personally, I'm speechless at this story, and I don't know what you think, but let me know your thoughts. If you have been following the story before now, I have actually shared in the short in my shorts a very short video, just explaining the before and after scenery of Chidubem. Unfortunately, this child was taken from the mother. The mother is an 18-year-old. We don't know if it's 18 years or if this mother is 19 years old, because some stories say she's 19, but from her we heard that she is just 18. So this young lady actually decided to come to Lagos to start to become a domestic help, I think, to this woman in question who took her child away. So in January, she started working with this woman, and she said she didn't know she was pregnant, but when she got to Lagos, she found out she was pregnant, and this woman took her to the hospital, and eventually, after she was due for labor, they took her to the hospital, paid her hospital bill, got her back home, and the story came up that this woman told her to go get something by 2 a.m. in the morning at dawn, and that when she went out, she couldn't find anywhere to buy anything. So when she was coming back, or when she was back in the house, she met the husband. The husband was like, "Where are you coming from at this hour? You're spoiled, blah blah blah," and then chased out of the house, threw her things out, and told her she has no place in that house anymore. And literally, that was how she was thrown out of the house. Without her baby. And she said she had to go beg this good Samaritan, and then probably she got some shelter, and then eventually she came back the next day to ask for her child, and her boss and the husband told her that you can't get your son rather, you have to pay us the hospital bills. And she asked how much is the money. He said 200,000. She said the man said 200,000. The woman said 5 million naira. So there's a story that the money has been changing from 200,000 to 5 million to 400,000 to 500,000. Like, the story is really crazy around this. Anyways, the conclusion is that she said she didn't have this money, and that she would like her child. And the woman said, "No, you're not going to get your child until you pay me back my money I used in paying hospital bills for you." And so I think she left to go hustle for the money. And unfortunately, she spent a month trying to get the money. And eventually, when she came back to ask for her child, I think she ended up reporting the case. And when she reported the case, I think social workers intervened, and they had to get her child back from this woman. And then they returned this child back to her looking this way. Unfortunately, they said after 2 weeks in the hospital, this child died, unfortunately. And the story, that's where the story is at the moment. So I don't know what you make out of the story. A lot of people have been sharing their thoughts about it. I don't even know. Right now, I'm seriously speechless. I am seriously speechless. Harrison, if you don't know Harrison Bamashu, he is an activist, a human rights activist in Nigeria, that is the Director General of Behind Bars NGO, and they are really into helping people find their feet, know their rights, get their things back. He handles a lot of cases, and he actually was one who brought this case to the limelight. They've been following up the case, and I'm just wondering. I'm like, wow, this Nigeria. I think we really need to applaud social media for bringing these stories to our front, right? Bring it out in the open, because crazier stories like this, I'm very sure, has been happening in the past, but probably unfortunately because of lack of media attention, lack of media coverage, we have not been able to get the stories. Thank God for social media. Thank God for the online spaces. Thank God for people like Harrison, who are actually bringing this narrative of sharing real-time story on social media, so that people like us can actually see these things, bring them to you, and talk about it. Guys, what do you think about this? Like, right now, my head is all around what kind of justice should she fight for? Like, what should she demand for when it comes to justice for this child? Because I mean, it's my anger, my pain is that these kids are dead. These children are just dying. And these things would have been avoided. Like, my question is, why didn't the mother report earlier? And if she did report earlier, my question is, why didn't the agency, why didn't the government officials, why didn't the police do something fast about it? There are so many questions. There are so many questions, and I'm really alarmed at this case. I'm really, really alarmed. Unfortunately, before my shooting this video, I wasn't able to get. There has not been any interview, or they have not publicly shared the interview faces that has captured this woman and the husband who has really committed this very, very heinous crime. I really want to know their sentiments behind it. But seriously, I know it's going to be all full of lies and all that, but whatever the case is, I'm just asking, where is our humanity? How can this child move from looking like this to looking like this? Like, how on earth can we be this mean to another human? And not just another human, but a helpless child that's not even up to 1 year old. I mean, this story is alarming. Guys, what justice should we ask for Chidubem? Because seriously, we need justice for Chidubem. And after this interview, the interviewer asked this young lady what she wanted, and her cry was, "I want a job." And that even broke me more. Like, I felt like, oh my gosh, poverty is one of the problems that we have in this part of the world. That is why people cannot find justice. That is why people cannot live, breathe, and be alive. And it's really, really alarming. Like, of all things to ask of, this is the first thing she's asking for. She's not even asking for justice for us. Like, I felt she was going to say, "I want justice for my child," like the very first time. But she said she needed a job. That's to tell you how helpless this young lady has been. And it's really terrible how these cases are really getting alarming, and how somehow, if there's no interruption, there's no intermediary, there's no exposure of these things to the public, like these heinous crimes will keep on getting hidden. Because Harrison actually mentioned this fact that most of the social workers, the social networks, they were actually angry that he shared this story out there. And I'm like, why shouldn't he share it? Why are they hiding this heinous crime? I mean, they probably would have just given this lady some money because they know she's hungry, she's jobless, and she needs help. Maybe they would have just given her some money and told her to shut up. And probably she would shut up. Because, I mean, the humanity is crazy here, guys. What do you think about the story? I'm literally feeling very angry, and I'm going to be bringing up updates about this when I hear something new about it. Trust me, I'm going to talk about it anytime I hear something new about it. But for now, guys, I still can't wrap my head around it. I still can't wrap my head around it. Like, seriously, we haven't been able to deal with the Sylvester story, and now this one, we seriously need to do something. I mean, I think the government needs to raise some kind of structure to protect children, because children need to be safe. We need to save our children. They're dying. And something has to be done, like right now, and very fast. Guys, I'm going to see you all in another episode of Social Issues. I mean, for now, I'm just going to, let me just think of how to make my day a better day, because this story broke my heart in a million ways. I will not even lie. It did.